everyone, Suzi here, and today we're playing Watcher of Realms. For today's video, I'm gonna do my first look about Song Wukong. Finally, let's dive into this hero's kit and see what he's all about. Okay, we know what he's all about. We know, we've seen the YouTubes, we've seen the titles, the thumbnails, the conversation already. People are very hyped for this hero. So why, right? Why? It's this boss killer ability, right? He is just a beast against the normal Drake's Chasm and the Titanic Ruins especially. And he's just a great fighter, like, period. Anywhere you need a fighter, you can plug this guy in. He's even got an extra tile range, so he can go behind a tank. But yeah, that's not all, right? We really gotta dive into why is he so good? Why do we want his crazy awakenings? I think, don't stress if you hear all of us content creators talking about wanting awakenings. It's because we saved or spent or like got W Gold because of our sponsorships or got 10,000 diamonds because of the content creator program. You know, it's not like we can just easily do that without trying. You know, it's if you're lower spend, free to play or whatever, and you can only get one copy and you're like, oh, this is gonna suck, it's not good enough, I don't know. Don't worry, he's gonna be just fine, I know. This is one of the first times I've definitely popped around a little bit just to see some quick impressions. Like, I didn't want to spoil too much regarding really looking at his kit in depth and such, but I did see some creators, like I know Blunt Guts did a video with him and other testing in Titanic Ruins and was very impressed. And I think War Guides did a simple damage test in normal Guild Boss, the Drake's Chasm, and was really impressed. I'll link both of those videos below because they're just great simple damage testing. I'm sure Fastidious put out a video too, but I did not actually watch like any full guides yet. So I just wanted to like kind of get a read about, is the hype real? Is it worth really telling people to save? I wanted to see some impressions before I made other videos too, even though I wanted to wait to make this overall deep dive into his kit look myself. But I can tell he's gonna be incredible just based on the whispers, right? The whispers in the wind. We already do have a skin coming with him. I kind of think it looks silly, but it is a weird it's a monkey at the end of the day. So I guess it looks like a creepy monkey. It looks like the very traditional painterly style of the faces, so I don't know. I kind of prefer the normal one. I'll probably play with his normal thing without his skin, honestly, and then switch it later. But aesthetic-wise, he is pretty neat. Let's zoom. Can I zoom in? Let's zoom in. All right, let's zoom in here. Good details with this whole headwear. I love that. His eyes look cool. Simple armor, nothing crazy, but definitely very traditional. Like I said, before I kind of expected him to drop during the Chinese New Year, so I'm surprised. But maybe there's a chance they'll give us a surprise and rerun this event soon for Chinese New Year. I could see them doing that as a surprise hype for anyone who missed it, and just as more, you know, celebration of their culture. It is a Chinese company, so why not show a little extra love for one of the beloved heroes of their mythology and their culture. So Song Wukong is a nightmare and a watcher hero. Let's read his little blurb here. Known as Song Wukong, this mighty warrior possesses 72 transformations and wields the golden cudgel, a magical staff that can grow or shrink at will, stirring thunder and wind with each swing. Later crowned as heaven's equal, his rebellious nature led him to challenge both heaven and earth, fearing no deity as he wreaked havoc in the celestial realm that shook 3 worlds. So, fighter, normal damage. But yeah, good info here. Lots of fun stuff. I will definitely read the lore at the end of this video as well. So I imagine there's a nice little story here to go along with him. He's kind of an important character. So first of all, single target attack, multi-target attack, hard control, and summons. Oh. Details-wise, let's take a look at his stats. He does have almost 6,500 attack, so that's very solid. His cost is 15, so pretty good as well. Block of 2, like all, and then 2.6 for his attack interval. All right. So there is his basic stuff. His talent, the third basic attack summons one Sage's clone within the ultimate's range. Up to 3 Sage's clones can exist simultaneously. Gains 1 stack of Undaunted Might every 30 seconds. Up to 5 stacks. If summoning Sage's clone is not possible, or there are already 3 Sage's clones, the third basic attack will instead increase the hero's attack by 20% for 15 seconds. So, all right, I want to pull up a document that I have that are notes from the staff directly about Sun Wukong to let us know some important tips and tricks regarding this hero's kit and testing him and talking about him. So let me do that. All right, so I'm going to go along as there is something important to point out from the document. But first, let's read the details of this talent. So inherits 100%, the Sage's clone. Inherits 100% of the hero's attributes. Each basic attack deals 40% damage to one adjacent enemy. The Sage's clone, it takes 50% more damage. So they're squishy. And then this gain 1 stack of Undaunted Might every 30 seconds, up to 5 stacks. This is each stack increases damage dealt to elites or bosses by 1%. So he is made to be a boss killer. Now, regarding the Sage's clones, it says within the range of the ultimate. So there is the ultimate range. You can see that. There are some important notes about these Sage's clones. So, the Sun Wukong basic attack summons 3 to assist in battle. These clones occupy grid spaces, similar to the Guardian summoned by the artifact Wailing Skull. When positioning, you need to ensure there are 3 ground tiles within the Sun Wukong's ultimate damage range. Improper positioning can result in approximately 30% damage loss. So again, just like Wailing Skull. However, there is one exception to this rule. But it's actually the same for Wailing Skull as well. So in Guild Boss, the 2 ground tiles in the top left and top right corners cannot be occupied by heroes. But his Sage clones can be summoned there, just like in the Guardians from Wailing Skull can also be summoned there. So on the note of Wailing Skull, if he equips Wailing Skull, the Guardians it summons will also compete for the grid spaces. So you need to ensure there are at least 4 ground tiles in front of, or around, I guess. 4 ground tiles available. 1 for the Guardian and 3 for the clones. So this is really important for positioning with him. It's just, obviously that's a big part of the kit is the clones, and you want to make sure that there are actually ground spaces that are free. And especially if you're using Wailing Skull, then 4 spaces, not just 3. So it's a really good note to keep in mind. So on the note of artifacts, his exclusive artifact, while we're talking about that, in the Wailing Skull, his exclusive artifact, Golden Cudgel, it says increases damage by 20%, summoning Sage's clone additionally restores 6% rage. And that goes up, of course. This is a level 1. So we have the note that it's available for free and should be a priority to grind for, while Wailing Skull isn't an ideal artifact for Sun Wukong because the Guardians will compete for spaces. The presence or absence of the artifact can cause a 30 to 40% damage difference in output. So they're trying to say that this really is his best artifact, best in slot. Of course, it's going to be really hard to max out, so logically, if you have a maxed out Wailing Skull and you can make sure the spots are there for the clones, it's probably going to do more damage than a level 10 Golden Cudgel, I would hope to assume. However, definitely a testing, which I have not seen testing on the exclusive, although I'm sure there are some videos on that. But all right, let's go ahead and pop back to the hero and continue taking a look. Let's go on to the skills now. So the physical attack is basic, just hits one enemy. The same simple tile range. This ultimate has a really big range, deals 70% damage 18 times to one enemy and inflicts stuns. What the hell? That's crazy. He just gets a whole bunch of his clones attacking. Alright, and his passive, basic attack has a 25% chance to deal 200% damage and inflict stun. If the enemy is immune to stun, when triggered, it instead deals an extra 150% damage one time, and the stuns do last for 1 second. I like it. Definitely a Guild War hero, I would assume. He seems like he's gonna be bonkers for Guild Wars. Alright, so Golden Glare. Passive. When the hero triggers Golden Cudgel Strike, he gains 1 stack of Sunder. The ultimate consumes full stacks of Sunder, enabling the hero to ignore 60% of the target's defense for 10 seconds. Sunder can stack up to 5 times. Using the ultimate at full stacks will consume all Sunder stacks. That seems so fun. He's just such a beast. Oh my goodness. Okay, so Awaken 1. The first time Splitting Hairs is triggered in each battle, allies within 2 tiles gain Monkey Business. You can see that here, the Awaken 1. So Monkey Business prevents death 1 time. When the carrier takes fatal damage, dispels all debuffs on them, and restores 50% of their max HP. Gain Monkey Business. This just stays. Okay, so he just... So this is something they have a note for. It says, Awakening 1 introduces a new mechanic. The first ultimate grants allies a Monkey Business effect. Oh, it is allies. Sorry. Allies within 2 tiles. Okay. Which prevent death 1 time when they take fatal hit. So that's just a new thing that is a first time for this game. Attack plus 300 for the Awaken 2. And we got this long one here that I'm probably blocking my head and I can't click it, so let me go like this. Alrighty, let's take a look. Awaken 3. Sage's clone has a 25% chance to inflict stun when dealing damage to enemies. If the enemy is immune to stun, when triggered, it instead deals an extra 150% damage 1 time. If the hero has Golden Glare, he will also gain 1 stack of Sunder. Okay, that's amazing. Oh, I love that Awaken 3. So they have a note just saying that this enables his clones to inflict stuns, which is important for Guild Boss 2, Titanic Ruins. Stuns are an important part of the mechanic that you need to stop that crazy chainsaw from going through, so being able to pump out a ton of stuns allows him to maybe be the only hero with stuns on the team to keep a consistent stun going on for that, and to knock back that bar on the boss, right? Or to prevent him from doing that crazy move. Death Saw? Is that what it's called? Alright, move myself back up here. Awaken 4 is penetration plus 8%. And Awaken 5, okay, I can click here and you can read it better. Increases the damage instances of Splitting Hairs by 18. And raises... Wait, double... Isn't it already hits 8 times? 18 times, I mean? And raises Undaunted Might's stat cap by 25. What the f... After using Splitting Hairs, Golden Cudgel Strikes trigger chance increases by 35% for 12 seconds. That's bonkers. It already hits 18 times. And then the Undaunted Mike goes to 25 stacks from 5. No wonder why the Awakened 5 is busted and people are saying they're gonna try to get it if they can. Holy crap. Okay, I have no regrets saving my summons for this guy. I'm gonna have some fun and definitely go all in trying to get those awakenings as much as I can in case I don't get lucky with those legendary soul stones. But now we're going to read the lore. So I'm gonna get myself out of the way. And yeah, let me know what you guys think of our friend Sun Wukong. Havoc in heaven. At last he has come, Hatsut. Lend your ear now to the tale of the most legendary figure, a deity whose brilliance is at constant odds with his fierce sense of freedom and penchant for mischief. The earliest stories of his inception are both numerous and conflicting, with the truth likely lying somewhere between a rock and a mountain. But when he awoke on Taya's shores, stripped of all his spoils and trinkets, Sun Wukong immediately set out against the gods to reclaim his title as heaven's equal. For Sun Wukong sought not sanctitude in Taya, but freedom for all under the oppressive rule of the so-called divinities. Having endured endless schemes concocted by the celestial court, Sun Wukong gazed skyward, not with reverence, but with a clear-eyed sense of duty. His mission? To loosen the grip of those who cling tightly to tall tales of fortune and fate, while seeking to keep others under their thumb. First, however, he would have to reclaim that which once belonged to him. Rumor held within Pelagios's underwater armory lay a relic capable of empowering any champion bold enough to wield them. Sensing these may be his lost armor and golden cudgel, he set forth in a small boat, plunging into the South Sea with resolve. Hours later, he broke through the waves with magnificent staff draped in golden armor, gifts from the celestial realm, and symbols of his readiness to challenge the oppressive rule of the gods. But to the arbiters, this was an act of rebellion, and they vowed to crush it. What followed next was a clash of titanic proportions, as the battle between Monkey King and the arbiters unfolded, shaking the very foundations of Taya. For the gods feared the return of the great sage and infused their might into their brigade of demigods. Though he fought defiantly, the arbiters ultimately overpowered him, leaving him bruised yet unbroken still. Rumors of his defeat spread, yet the Monkey King had merely retreated into the shadows, questioning and contemplating his purpose here. Realizing the great sage's spirit had not been crushed after all, the gods tactfully extended an offer of atonement. Sun Wukong, however, saw through their olive branch scheme, and reflecting upon many adventures that had brought him to Taya's shores, deftly perceived within the arbiters the same flaws that once plagued the celestial court. Sun Wukong vowed to expose their hypocrisy along with their divine allies for all to see, so that others might sample the freedom and clarity he had fought tooth and nail for. With an unyielding smirk and the gleam of his staff in hand, the Monkey King now traverses Taya, hailed by those who seek liberation and feared by those who cling to false divinity. His journey is not one of vanity but rebellion, a relentless pursuit of liberation and truth in a realm long shackled by illusion. Sun Wukong's saga has only begun, a story of defiance, courage, and an unbreakable will unfettered from the chains of oppression.